Okay, so for those of us in the hall, of course we know that it was Songkran Day and we had a big gathering here today. I don't know, probably 7,500 people here today. And quite a lovely occasion. And doing the kind of traditional ways of observing Songkran. So, washing the Buddha, pouring water over the hands of the elders, and of course taking precepts and listening to Paritta chanting. So these are, it's just a very pleasing, delightful occasion, I thought, anyway. And of course, it's marking a new year. And one of the things that came to my mind in terms of, and I gave a talk this afternoon about some aspects of the new year, but another, say, element or angle to consider an occasion like this, and for marking beginnings of new cycles, is reflecting on the qualities that lead to a sense of community or fellowship, a sense of social harmony, and that's I think it's something that's a really important qualities to be considering and reflecting on, both in terms of on our relationships with the people closest to us, but then also in terms of what are the qualities that would lead to a social well-being, social cohesion, because that's, say, as human beings, we seem to be really adept at creating division and disharmony and disaffection between us as human beings, which is unfortunate because it's not very pleasant, comfortable, not a way to make oneself happy or even healthy. So it's paying conscious attention to the qualities that do lead to the sense of cohesion and communal harmony and well-being. And of course, there's and of course the Buddha addressed it and talked about the four courses of action which lead to communal harmony and for, say, fellowship and basis of bonds of harmony. In Pali they're called the Sangha Watu, and four particular qualities: dana, piyavaja, attacharya, and samahanatata. And I won't end the Dharma talk there. I'll explain what that is. The first aspect of dana is, of course, most people would know what dana is: generosity, sharing, giving. So that to be living together with this sense of being willing to share, to give, with a sense of generosity. And it's not just a material generosity. It's a generosity of heart, a generosity of giving time, a generosity of taking into account somebody other than oneself. That's one of the knock-on effects of generosity, is that we're not just thinking about ourselves all the time. And that, one, of course, it leads to connection, and creates a bonding amongst us as human beings, and so that when we share with each other, we get to know each other as human beings. So we get to develop that contact and connection with others, so that whether it's in a small group of people, in terms of family, or whether it's say a larger group, like say a community like a monastery, or whether it's a larger group in terms of extended community of the monastery, or whether it's within the society of the village, town, city, state, country. That fundamental quality of giving and sharing that helps us to create those bonds of friendship, really, sharing, having a shared experience. So this sense of generosity is an important aspect of this, creating a warmth of being together as human beings. Another aspect is called the Abhayagiri, which is, say, literally, it's sort of lovable speech, but sort of, endearing speech, speech that is warm, it's friendly, it's not harsh, it's not kind of backbiting or say critical, or say tearing down, or these are they're fairly common ways of communicating, but the result is not so. It doesn't create harmony. So that paying attention to the tone and tenor of our speech, so that is it endearing? Is it lovable? Because it's not necessarily a virtue to be using our speech to focus on the faults and flaws of others, or to criticize. Do we need more information like that? I think it's important to recognize that, say, as human beings, one of our unique means of communicating is our speech, and to learn how to use speech really skillfully, so that it creates these bonds of warmth and respect and trust between us, and just because sometimes just sort of frivolous or pointless speech, it's just one of the reasons why, say, right speech is an element of the path of practice leading to the ending of suffering that the Buddha laid down. It is an important part of our training to live with Dhamma as a foundation in our hearts and in our life. But certainly for the creating of a basis for living together in harmony, and having a sense of fellowship is attention, a skillful attention to speech, and to be willing to because sometimes we don't have to say everything that comes into our minds. It's important to have a filter that is able to recognize, well, what is going to lead to my own benefit and the benefit of others? What is going to lead to happiness and well-being for myself and for others? And this sense of Abhayagiri is really important. Is that quality of speech that engenders warmth, respect, and a feeling of closeness to us as human beings. Again, whether it's on an individual basis or on a large group basis, it has a similar effect. Is learning how to give attention to this kind of a sense of loving speech, where there's a quality of kindness underlying the act of communicating with each other as human beings. The next quality that the Buddha points to is attacariya, which is, say, beneficial acts, beneficial actions. That one is, or deeds of service. There's different ways of translating this term. Atta is say something that is of importance or essence, and charya is to act or to do something. So that doing things that are important, useful, beneficial, that are of in service of well-being and useful. And of course, certainly for the Buddha, in the Buddhist perspective, something that is useful is is harmony and cohesion amongst us as human beings. He certainly was, and with the monastic sangha, it was something that he was really he saw as so important, and so certainly for the monastic sangha to be taking it really seriously of how to live together in harmony and bring about benefit for ourselves and for the world around us. But it's in order to create the sense of confidence that this is possible as human beings, and so that when whether one is a monastic or a lay person, to have that sense of uplifting encouragement of, as human beings we can do this, we can live together cohesively and not in conflict, in strife with each other. It is possible, and should be aspired to. And the attacharya, acts of service, are important bases of it is learning how to help each other out. How to keep one's eyes and ears open of what needs to be done, what would be useful, what would be beneficial. It's like an occasion like today. It's accomplished or it succeeds because everybody does help out. People came up a couple of days before, the day before, and did all sorts of preparations. This morning, the community sort of helping setting up and getting things prepared. Many people in the kitchen needing to be helping out. There's a lot of people. And then when it's all over, and people helping out to put stuff away, clean things up, see if there's anything left over to keep. So it's like the place is neat and tidy. This is attacharya. This is deeds of service, wholesome action, acts of benefit. And so there's all sorts of different ways that can be accomplished, but it starts from just paying attention to what needs to be done, what would be useful, what would be of service. And again, it's sort of thinking rather than, what's good for me and what can I get out of this? And sort of, what's good for the group, what's good for the occasion, how can I do something that's a benefit to others? So it's an attentiveness to that kind of action, and there is a generosity and a kindness underlying that. So these are tied together. And dana being in terms of that sense of generosity and giving, biyawaja, that sense of loving speech or endearing speech. It's to be a kindness underlying that. Deeds of service, acts of beneficial action. There's a kindness and generosity that underlies that. So it's important to nurture those and encourage those qualities within ourselves. the last quality that the Buddha points to in Pali is samanatata, which is, it has a couple different kind of expressions that are, so there's like, or meanings behind it. So some part of it is a sense of evenness or steadiness, so that there's, when we approach any situation, that there is a certain quality of evenness or steadiness, and that creates a sense of harmony. If there's, people are bouncing off the walls with moods and either elation or frustration or whatever, everybody picks that up. It's as to having a sense of evenness and steadiness within the circumstances that creates cohesion and harmony. Also, another meaning to that expression is a sense of an equal treatment of others, where one is engaging with people in an even way, and there's an impartiality there, where one is choosing to interact with others in a way that is not just that's my friend. I like them. I'll be nice to them. That's a person I don't know so well. I'll ignore them, or whatever. I mean, there's an evenness that how one and impartiality, recognizing that there's as human beings we all respond to an integrity of conduct, virtue and integrity have meaning for us, and we feel confident and comfortable when people are treat us with integrity and kindness. So that learning how to overcome one's own biases or preferences, and what is it that's appropriate according to Dhamma? What is it? What's the ways of conducting ourselves that are even and impartial. So that leads to a certain steadiness and stability within ourselves, but then how we relate and so that sense of cohesion is formed through that. When we're saying impartial, I'm not saying just indifferent. Again, there's these bonds of communal harmony are based on generosity and kindness, and based on being willing to put some effort in and not be passive of how in our relationships with others, drawing together with a sense of warmth and sharing and recognizing what's of real benefit as in the human condition. What is it that we cherish? And of course, what we cherish is being happy and peaceful. We don't really cherish being miserable and in conflict with each other. It's just it's uncomfortable. It's unpleasant. So that recognizing that bonds of fellowship, bonds of harmony, and a sense of cohesion amongst us as whether it's a small or a large group. There's conditions for that. It's not something that is particularly mystical, magical. Something we have to put the work into attending to what is skillful, what is wholesome, and that is the fundamental definition of, say, attending to the what is kusala, avoiding what is akusala. So paying attention to what is wholesome and skillful and beneficial, paying attention to how to avoid and to step back from the unwholesome, the unskillful, the unbeneficial. And quite naturally, when we do that personally, we experience an increase in well-being and happiness, and the group or the community experiences an increase in well-being and happiness. It's just a natural law. It follows the Dhamma, and that's just the way it works. So today being Songkran Day, a New Year Day, New Year observation of the New Year, I think it's important to pay attention to these qualities that lead to social harmony and cohesion. So I'll offer that for reflection this evening.